WrestlePod is supported by viewers like you. To support WrestlePod and the other programs on this channel, visit patreon.com/Ian Beaumont live and direct. From Ian Beaumont, live and direct, this is WrestlePod. Welcome to the program. Ian Beaumont here. We're finally getting to do the two things I've been promising to do now for, well, one of them for a few weeks and the other for about a couple. So let's get to the first of those first. The one that has been, like, way behind the curve. Ever since the WWE announced that they were going to do this Greatest Royal Rumble, there's been talk about, what else could we see on the network? We already know we're going to see another UK Championship special. We're going to see a King of the Ring featuring UK talents. But what else could we see? What else do we want to see? Well, I put my mind to it, and I've come up with 12 network specials that I'd like to see on the WWE Network. Now, these range from not likely to happen to very likely, and all points in between. So let's get started with number 12, WCW Clash of the Champions. Now, I know this is probably one of those in the category of never going to happen, but obviously the history in the WWE Network that you've got throughout the thing, you've got a whole load of WCW stuff, and you have this brand that at the moment is still going unused, and it could potentially set up any number of things. So you could do a WCW branded Clash of Champions, maybe quarterly, as a way of gently building up a new WCW. And that could be a way of creating, a new WCW champion and all that sort of stuff. And that would be a nice thing to have. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd just like to see it. So number 11, WWE United Kingdom Championship Special. Now, I know we're seeing this, but I'd like to see this yearly. No matter what else happens, if we get even if we get the UK show, I would like to see the WWE United Kingdom Championship Special become a yearly event. And that way you've got a regular big either one night or 2 night event, as well as the weekly show. And that to me, I think, will be perfect for the United Kingdom Championship. Number 10, In Your House / Live From. Now, basically, I want to see a few more glorified house shows. You could resurrect the In Your House brand from the mid-90s as a way of doing house shows. A little bit weird. But that would be a good way. That would be a good way. Or you could just say it's live from wherever. But there's one of those I'd like to see at least every year. Number 9, live from Madison Square Garden. This actually happened. This was a WWE Network special in 2015. It's not been done again since, but honestly, I would like to see it. I'd like to see it happen once a year, live from Madison Square Garden, and you can have it be, as I said, rather like Greatest Royal Rumble turned out to be, nothing more than a glorified house show. But that would be nice. Number 8, WWE Insurrection. Insurrection was one of 2 UK exclusive pay-per-views during the Attitude Era and the very beginnings of the Ruthless Aggression Era, late 90s, early 2000s. And honestly, I would quite like to see those come back. As part of the, you have Raw and SmackDown taped twice a year at the moment in the UK. I'd like to see a couple of UK exclusive pay-per-views as part of those tours. So Insurrection would be the May one, and the November one would be number 7, WWE Rebellion. Yep, bring back both of those pay-per-views, have them be major events as part of the WWE UK and European tours that they do, as I say, twice a year. And that way, it gives WWE a chance to actually say, we're providing some exclusive content for UK viewers right here on the network. And it features the big name superstars. Number 6, King of the Ring. I'd like to see this come back as a yearly tournament. The finals would be a live thing, but what you could do is, instead of having qualifying matches be on Raw or SmackDown, you could actually set up an entire King of the Ring tournament, have it be filmed maybe at Full Sail, maybe somewhere else, and you could actually have exclusive these exclusive King of the Ring qualifying shows for about an hour each at a time. Maybe 6 of these shows building up to the semi-finals and the final live on the one night special. And it would be a nice little tournament to just it could build into any number of storylines you wanted. It's got great potential. Number 5, ECW One Night Stand. They only did 2 of these as an ECW thing, mainly because they butchered December to Dismember. And then it became WWE One Night Stand, and then it became WWE Extreme Rules. No, bring it back. ECW One Night Stand, have a yearly celebration of ECW. Nothing wrong with that. That would be great. Same principle applies to number 4, WCW Starrcade. If you're not going to do Clash of Champions, have one night a year branded as WCW Starrcade, their big night, and literally have a whole load of wrestlers compete under this WCW as a celebration of the history of WCW. There's plenty of good reason to do it. You've got the content on the network. It's a great way of using the modern wrestlers to help showcase the older stuff. Number 3, WWE Global Warming. If you don't know, this was something that happened in Australia, I think back in 2003. They're going to do another one this year, but we don't know that it's going to be on the network. But even if it isn't, it'd be nice something to do once a year, as a every time they go down to the Australasian continent. do a WWE global warming pay-per-view and well, maybe not pay-per-view, do it as a network special on the network, and do it at a time when Australian fans can tune into it. That would be a great thing to do. Number 2, WWE WrestleMania Access. There were some great matches apparently at Access this year, including a WWE UK Championship match between Lio Rush and Pete Dunne. We never saw it because it was only for the fans at Access. And honestly, this needs to either be on the network or on Facebook Live. But one way or another, we need to be able to see WWE WrestleMania Access on our screens, either via the network or via Facebook Live. Because those matches deserved a far bigger audience than just those guys at Access. And number 1, Saturday night main event. Now, you could run this monthly, you could run this twice a year, as they did on NBC, but just run it on the network, have it be kind of like a setup to before a couple of the big pay-per-views, and you could really do something with that and make it, current WWE main event is really just the Raw's B show at the moment, and no, it needs to be better. So call it Saturday night main event, make it 2 hours, put it on the Saturday night before, or maybe a week Saturday before one of the big pay-per-views, so you have something to lead in. I think it will work. So there you go. 12 network specials I'd like to see on the WWE Network. Okay, so a little fantasy booking now. And this is something that I thought was going to happen. Apparently, it doesn't look like it's going to now. But this is something I'd kind of like to see. So, forgive my indulgence while we talk about WWE Championships and WWE brands. Now, at the moment, you have Raw, you have SmackDown, you have NXT, you have 205 Live, and you have the UK Championship division. They are the current brands of WWE. And all well and good. You've got some great, the championship situation kind of works. But then you've got little things coming up like this potential idea that apparently is going to happen. That there's going to be a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Now, unfortunately, that can't just happen on SmackDown or Raw. Neither brand has enough tag teams. But between them, there's enough to kind of, okay, maybe we can do something with this. So that got me thinking, how would we do this? How would we do championships in the current system that could move between brands? And not just Raw and SmackDown, but also could appear on NXT, 205 Live, and the UK Championship whenever that gets its weekly show. Whatever that's called. I mean, at the moment, there's just the UK Championship. But you can imagine if it gets to being a weekly show, there will at least be a UK Women's Championship and a UK Tag Team Championship. So that's, looking likely. There's also been talk of a cruiserweight tag team championship. I kind of like that idea. And it would give 205 Live a second belt. It would actually it would be more than a one belt show, which at the moment is what it is. So yeah, you got 4 great championships in NXT, 4 on SmackDown, 4 on Raw, but there doesn't seem to be any horse trading between them. Between any of them. And obviously a little bit of competition between the brands. You know, we've had this Raw versus SmackDown idea run several times. So how about we make them fight over titles? Here's how it would work. Every show, every brand has titles that are exclusive to that brand. So on Raw, you'd have the Universal Championship, you'd have the Raw Tag Team Championship, the Raw Women's Championship, and currently you have the Intercontinental Championship. I want to take that out of Raw and have that be fought between the brands. So you replace it with a new mid-card championship, which we'll just call the Raw Championship for the moment. Same with SmackDown. You got the WWE Championship there. You've got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then you got the United States Championship, which again is all well and good, but I kind of want to take that out of SmackDown, put that to be fought between the brands, and put in a SmackDown's own mid-card title, which again we'll just call the SmackDown Championship, for lack of a better cognomen. So you have your 4 titles, Raw and SmackDown. NXT, you've got the NXT Championship, you've got the NXT North American Championship, you've got the Tag Team Championship, and the Women's Championship. They are your NXT titles. That's fine. 205 Live, we got the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, and of course we got the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championship. That's good. We're fine with that. And at the moment, as I said, on the UK division, we've currently only got the UK Championship, but you could have a Women's Championship and a Tag Team Championship as well. But just to make it more interesting, why don't we introduce a title to be fought for between the brands, one that could well and truly fit the UK division, but is just as happy being on Raw, SmackDown, or indeed anywhere else. And we bring back the WWE European Championship. Yes, the European Championship would be a good title to float between at least Raw, SmackDown, and the UK division. There has been talk at times of the women having a show of their own. Whether that's a pay-per-view or a weekly show, I'm not sure. But if we do get that sort of situation, well, then you're going to have a separate WWE Women's World Championship for that show. So why not so if that does happen, fine, it can go there. If not, that can be fought for between the brands. And you allow it to go between Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, and maybe the UK division, to maybe elevate NXT up to being equal with Raw and SmackDown. If this Women's Tag Team Championship happens, then obviously that can't, because of the way that is thing, that won't stay on either SmackDown or Raw. It has to go between both. And could conceivably go to NXT as well. if you've got everybody out, if you got the men, if you got singles men, singles women fighting, and women tag teams fighting for titles between brands, why not have a World Tag Team Championship fighting between the brands as well? And since you've got between NXT, Raw, and SmackDown so many 3-man teams that could really do, that could really do with a title, how about a 6-man tag team championship? So you got 7 titles, potentially. The Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship, the European Championship, the Women's World Championship, the Women's Tag Team Championship, the World Tag Team Championship, and the 6-man Tag Team Championship that can be fought for between the various brands. And you can go, okay, suddenly, let's say Undisputed Era from NXT pick up the WWE 6-man Tag Team Championship. Suddenly that starts appearing on NXT and you're going, okay, NXT have got, quite a coup there. And it's a way of making, of giving each brand its own set of titles, but also having some titles that could float around the various brands, be part and parcel of something more. And I know what you're saying, well, this is starting to sound like everybody's getting a title. Not quite. That's why these 7 would go between the brands, because it's like, not everybody is going to need the title at the same time, and there's so much talent between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, 205 Live, and the UK division that honestly, you should give them something to do sometimes that isn't just, the set thing. And having these floating titles would be a way of giving them a little something extra to fight for. And making it feel more competitive between the brands, rather than just having Raw and SmackDown and then everything else kind of below them. Make it feel a little more competitive. So there you go. That's my little fantasy booking scenario for WWE Championships to float between brands, as well as having some exclusive to individual ones. What do you think? You probably think it's a load of old hooey, and I wouldn't blame you. Whatever your thoughts, drop us a note in the comments down below, and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like this video, share it on social media with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel of Ian Beaumont Live and Direct at youtube.com/c/IanBeaumont128. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/WrestlePod IBLND, and you can also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/Ian Beaumont Live and Direct. There's a whole load of other things as well. Keep an eye on the Ian Beaumont Live and Direct blog, because I keep adding odd little bits from time to time. That's at ianbeaumont.liveanddirect.blogspot.com. And until next time, thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay tuned.